You can do only swear words if you want. Like that's fine. Like
we'll speak exclusively in swears for the
that'd be fine. That'd be fine.
Perfect.
That's acceptable to me.
Great.
I'll put the parental advisory
oh gosh,
little icon on the thumbnail. It'll be perfect. That's
I guess that's appropriate. We did a live watch along last season when the Dolphins played the Titans, and it was one of the Snoop Hundley games, I think, for the Dolphins, and it was just absolutely miserable. And I made the genius decision that I was going to drink through the watch along. And so by the time the game was over, I went on the rip-roaringest like rant at Mike McDaniel and Chris Greer. It was certainly not child friendly.
Was that?
And it got clipped, and we clipped that rant and then have since, dropped it into a couple of extra shows because
amazing.
Why wouldn't you? The Dolphins have been in a bad way for a while. And we just YouTube, I guess, is like super backlogged and flagging even unlisted videos.
Oh wow.
But they have just started notifying us about all of these videos behind the scenes where anytime we played the clip of this rant where I'm F and C, F and blah, 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 and then it's anyway, sometimes
it sounds like great content. It sounds like a good like intro for a show. Just
yeah, it's perfect. So hi everybody, come listen to me swear about the Dolphins.
I mean, there's not a lot to not swear about, right? Like there's a reason that the whole team is like cleaned house.
Going on 25 years, man.
This is going to be a tough play. The Cubs with the World Series. Enormous questions surrounding Dan Marino. Bongo, rebound pass, back out to Allen. History trying to back.
Hello again, everybody, and this one's for you.
Pass caught by Des Bryant.
Hello, and welcome back to Derek Likes Sports, a podcast that hasn't done an intro like this in a while. I'm Derek, I like sports, and today I have a great show for you. I am joined by Josh Katzker of the Same Old Dolphins show on the Dolphins Talk Network. Josh and I talked about his life being a Dolphins fan and how he kind of collected the diverse fandom that he has today, being a Cubs fan, a Blackhawks fan, a Heat fan, a Dolphins fan. He gets into all that, how that all happened. It's a lot more organic and makes a lot more sense than my fandom journey, which led to me being like, I guess, a Cowboys fan and a Chargers fan and, Syracuse fan. None of it makes sense. I understand. Red Sox? What? Why are you're wearing a Marlins hat? What are you doing? Anyway, you're going to enjoy that. At the end of today's episode, Josh and I did a little fun thing with Mascots. So it's a little visual. I would recommend the video version of the episode. If you're seeing my face right now, congrats, you're already doing that. If you're not, you can see it on Spotify or you can see it on YouTube. If you would rather just listen to the voices and not see the faces, that's fine too. I would just recommend Googling a picture of each of the mascots that we talk about, because that will give you a sense of what we're looking at. Anyway, I really hope you enjoyed this episode. I definitely enjoyed making it. So without further ado, let's get to me and Josh talking about whatever we talked about. And so I know a couple things about you. I know you're a huge Dolphins fan. But don't you live in like central New York? Aren't you like...
I live in central New York.
So that like seems to conflict for me. You got the sunny like Miami vibes and you're just buried in snow for 7 months a year.
Yeah, it's kind of wild. Well, it happens. So as it happens, my town is kind of like... We're like just outside of where the snow like really hammers people. So there was like a massive lake effect thing here like a couple of weeks ago where there are towns probably 45 minutes north of us that got like literally 3 feet of snow.
Yeah.
And we had 3 inches. Because that's lake effect, right?
It's like it's such a line of demarcation where it just stops.
I've lived here for the better part of the last 20 years. And my mother, who lives in Florida, came and visited for Thanksgiving one time, and it snowed very powerfully while they were here visiting.
Yeah.
We were driving them around at one point on a country road. hit a little icy patch and skid around a little bit, and like that was it. They were never coming again. On their way to the airport to go back home one morning, they got stuck on a hill somewhere, and my mother's like, I love my grandchildren. I'm never coming to visit you in the winter ever again.
Yeah.
But like she'll still like ask me, she's like, I see there's a lot of snow happening in New York. Are you guys getting buried under the snow? And I'm like, no, not at all. There's a lot of snow to our north. There's a lot of snow to our east, but like
that's the way to do it. You just have, you just look at the cold, but yeah, it's just cold, just bitterly cold. Yeah. I lived in Syracuse for one winter, and that was the exact amount that I will live in Syracuse for my whole life. Never doing that again. It snowed one day. It snowed one day in January, and then I did not see grass again until like mid-April. Yeah, it's just it's a different world.
We're having the January thaw right now, so it's been in the 40s for much of the last week or so, which has really been really nice. So we get to see the grass, get to see the leaves that I haven't raked yet emerge from the snow. But we're about to get another, according to who you listen to, whether you believe the Euro model or the whatever, we're about to get another foot of snow probably tomorrow night. So
awesome. That's fantastic. Yeah. So so did you grow up in Miami? Is there like a Miami connection?
Yeah, I grew up
there?
In South Florida.
You grew up in South Florida, and now you live in the opposite of South Florida. That's
and right out of college, I got hired with a company here in Central New York that I was with for a few years, and then I left and went to grad school, and then I lived in Chicago for a little while, and then I came back to the same company in 2013 and have been here ever since.
So how's that impacted your life as a Dolphins fan? Like, do you get yelled at by Bills fans, or how's that go?
No, it's actually, well, what's interesting is that, so it is very much Bills country up here right now. But like when I first moved up here in like 2005, the Bills were terrible. And so you actually heard a lot more about the Giants and the Jets at that time than you heard about the Bills here. But then, I went away and came back, and now like the Bills have, the best quarterback in the league, and suddenly you can't walk into Wegmans without seeing, a giant Josh Allen everywhere. Josh Allen cereal, Josh Allen, nachos, Josh Allen wing sauce, whatever it is. He's everywhere.
He's in every commercial now too. You can't get away from Josh Allen, even if you wanted to. And I imagine it's even crazier there.
Well, and the thing is like, as a Dolphin fan, I've grew up hating the Bills. I was just having this conversation with my brother the other day because he's a diehard Dolphin fan as well. But he told me that he's rooting for the Bills to win because he's just sick of the Schadenfreude of it all. And I'm like, but I grew up hating the Bills. Like, the Bills were our most hated rivalry. Like, all through the 90s, it was the Dolphins and the Bills and the Dolphins and the Bills. And in fact, if the Bills don't pull off that miraculous comeback against the Oilers, that famous Frank Reich comeback at Rich Stadium, the Dolphins probably cruised to the Super Bowl that season. The Bills were the only team in the AFC that could really like give the Dolphins a fight. And of course they came into our backyard and beat the crap out of us in the AFC Championship game. The Dolphins have been so bad for so long that people just they look at me and they go, "Oh, you poor thing."
You've kind of become the Bills.
Where it is. Yeah, we really did become what the Bills were in like the early 2000s. Like, we're just this team that's just like, we can't ever do anything right. We're not really a threat. Like, the Bills fans have other fish to fry, and as it happens this year, they don't even have to go through any of those other bigger fish. They just have to beat the Broncos.
Marino, like, what a wild career. Was his second year, gets to the Super Bowl, and then and then never again.
That's that blue pennant behind me there.
Oh yeah,
it's the last time we were AFC champions.
That's
Super Bowl 19.
Yeah. The Dolphins in their own division had the Tom Brady era of like 19 years or whatever, however long he was there, and now it's Josh Allen's dominating it.
And Drake May now.
And now Drake May. Yeah. The last two times someone other than the Patriots or Bills has won the division, it's been a team with Chad Pennington at quarterback. So I guess that's the key. If you
that is quite a stat.
Bring back Pennington. That's what the Dolphins
He needs
need
to come back. Where isn't he coaching high school somewhere? Like we need to get him back.
Probably. Yeah, get him in there. Come on, Chad.
Come on.
The least Chad person I've ever seen.
Yeah. He's really less of a Chad and more of something else.
More something else. Yeah. Yeah.
He should be Drew Pennington.
He's like a Cade.
The Cade is fine.
Yeah,
I'll allow a Cade.
Yeah. Yeah. So sorry about the Dolphins. What do you?
So am I.
Where do you? Is the Tua era such as it was? It's over.
That's been over for the second they decided that we're not gonna play you. Not only are you not gonna start anymore, you're gonna be the emergency backup quarterback. It's like, okay,
right.
This is an organization that is washing its hands of this man, and I'm fine with it. And I famously, went viral when the Dolphins drafted him for my reaction.
May I play that clip? I don't have it on me right now, but I might drop it in if I get your permission on that, because
drop it in. Yes,
it is
you may
very
drop
funny.
it in.
I will drop it in.
That was
right here.
The Miami Dolphins select Tua Tagovailoa.
Yes! They did it! They didn't screw it up! They didn't screw it up! Come on! Yeah! When, in fact, they did screw it up. But to be fair, they didn't screw it up in that moment because, the consensus at the time was,
he led the league. He had like a 4,800-yard passing season, didn't he? Like, he led the league in passing one year. Like, the thing about Tua is, after the hip injury, like, so much of his mechanics rely on like a strong hip, so he lost so much velocity on his throw just from that, and then the concussions, of course, and like just the injuries piled up, and he wasn't like gifted enough athletically to overcome all that, it seemed like.
Yeah, I think there was a small vocal minority of people who, after he suffered that injury in college, that were like, this is not the same guy, don't draft him. But the vast majority of the NFL draft industrial complex, when he was coming out of college and into the league, everybody was like, it's Joe Burrow, it's Tua Tagovailoa, and then it's Justin Herbert. Because when Justin Herbert was coming into the league after being in Oregon, where they didn't really use him in the way that he would be used as a pro. And so, the reaction from the majority, if the Dolphins had drafted Justin Herbert instead of Tua that year, like, there would have been riots in the streets.
Yeah. And ironically, the Chargers would have been like so excited that this potentially generational talent fell to them.
And I'll say this, that Justin Herbert is probably lucky that he ended up in the Chargers as opposed to the Dolphins, because he would have been crushed. He's getting crushed as a Charger
now. Yeah.
It is. But
now he's getting killed.
Yeah.
So the quarterbacks they passed on: Justin Herbert, Jordan Love, Jalen Hurts.
Mm-hmm.
And then the rest of that class was Jacob Eason. Could have had Jacob Eason. Not really anything after that. But the Love and Hurts one hurt, I guess, in addition. But nobody expected that from Hurts, at least. And Love was kind of an unknown out of Utah State. Like, that was kind of a project pick anyway. It took him several years to even start. Yeah. So
and those guys both got to go to franchises where they got to sort of take their time and be kind of brought along slowly without everything riding on their shoulders. Very different situation where the Dolphins drafted Tua to basically be a savior.
Yeah.
And as the story goes, I guess the Brian Flores at the time really didn't want Tua, but the owner and the GM were like, no, this is our guy.
Yeah, and the owner and GM really didn't want to win games, famously.
No, they did not. No, they did not.
Allegedly, unless that's
part of the
all
reason
been
that we find
to,
ourselves where we are now.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't know. Tua had some really fun games. You'll always have that 70-point game against Sean Payton's Broncos that both, is kind of like a line of demarcation for the Dolphins and the Broncos. Like, both those franchises which went in completely opposite directions. after that game.
It's one of the funny things about the Dolphins, right? Like when you look at the Dolphins in the past however many years, the things that people really remember about the team are 70-point game against the Broncos.
Right.
Broncos are now the number 1 seed in the AFC. And the other big thing that the Dolphins, or people remember about the Dolphins in recent seasons, was the Miami Miracle. The Miami Miracle, which preceded,
meaningless game, right? For the Dolphins.
It wasn't at the time until they proceeded to lose the remainder of their games that season.
Oh.
Meanwhile, the team they beat that day went on to win the Super Bowl that year.
Oh, okay. So I got my years mixed up. I was thinking that was the year. I was thinking that was Brady's last year. Because I think they beat the Dolphins.
I believe it was his last year in New England.
Yeah. They lost in the wild card to Tennessee in his last year in New England.
Oh, so then it was the year before.
I want to say they lost to the Dolphins the last week of the season. And I thought it was Miami Miracle, but I may be wrong.
Yes, that's right. That was Brady's last year, was where Ryan Fitzpatrick went into Foxborough on the last day of the season and beat them. That was a completely meaningless game. I actually didn't see that game. I was flying back. My wife is from Washington.
Okay.
And so we were there for Christmas, flying back on the day that game happened. I wasn't watching it. It wasn't.
Man, you all have like the whole continent covered.
I'm telling you, it's wild. I'm from Florida. My wife is from Washington. We met in Ohio. We live in New York.
Whoa.
We lived in Arizona briefly. We're kind of all over the place.
That's you span it. You just got to get up to Alaska, I guess, at some point.
That's it. We're working on it.
Yeah. That's the next expansion. Where does Tua rank for you with the post Marino quarterbacks? Who would you
with the post Marino quarterbacks?
Yeah.
I mean,
Marino.
He's the best of the post Marino.
You think so? You think
I think it's not close.
Oh, better than Fiedler, better than Damon Heward, better than Cleo Lemon.
He's not better than Cleo Lemon.
Yeah, you got to give it to
Cleo Lemon. Maybe
Lemon.
Has him edged out just a little bit there.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, just in terms of overall body of work, when he was at his best in that Mike McDaniel system, that, the sort of that 2022, 2023 Tua that we were getting, when he was at his best, he was better than Tannehill. But that window where he was
Tannehill.
At his best, when he was at his best, it was short lived.
Yeah.
But when he was doing that, he was by far the best of the quarterbacks post Marino, and that includes Chad Pennington, Jay Fiedler, go through the list, Ray Lucas.
Oh, that's a good one.
Pat White.
Jinx. Oh man, I see. I grew up in West Virginia, so Pat White was like a legend. Like seeing him.
Sure.
If not for that game against Pitt, he would have won the national championship and played really. He flashed some moments in Miami, which just was obviously too small to be.
Yeah,
which is a lesson that no one has learned. To this
Tua
day.
didn't learn that lesson.
Yeah, so it's but yeah, I mean, so you talk about the Dolphins with your brother. You guys have a podcast, right?
The Same Old Dolphin Show.
Same Old Dolphin Show. Great name.
Thank you.
It is funny how teams kind of get into these like identities. Like it's the same with like the Chargers. The Chargers are they have
Dolphins
moments
West.
where they and like it's so funny to me. Like the Steelers, part of that's only having 3 coaches until today. 3 coaches in like the last 60 years or whatever. But they're just it's almost like how college football programs have like very set identities, and the Dolphins for the last, better than me, last like 20 years, it's just been the same. You know what you're going to get pretty much.
It has been like that's part of the reason that this offseason is kind of so exciting for the Dolphins. Well, first of all, nobody does the offseason like the Dolphins. Like we were just talking about this on our show the other night, was that it's like the offseason is where hope lives for the Miami Dolphins. That's where things can happen, right? That's where you have all your optimism. And then they start playing football and you're like, oh, right. But, this was the first time really since probably they brought in Bill Parcells all those years ago that they've really stripped things away and are like, no, we are starting completely new. We're not promoting from within. We're bringing in outside eyes, outside hands, and we're starting over.
But Troy Aikman, right? Like Troy Aikman is like helping.
Troy Aikman is helping. He's like, he's kind
stuff?
of like a consultant.
Yeah.
You know, he's like he's the guy there with like, he's got his suit on, but no tie, unbuttoned, kind of sitting in the back of the room during the interview.
Right. The squarest head ever made.
Yes.
Just sitting in the.
He's taking in all of the information. He's not saying anything at all until the candidate like hangs up the Zoom call. And then he's like, okay, guys, let's talk about what this was.
Here's everything to hate about that phone call.
But like, hiring John Eric Sullivan from Green Bay, a guy that is like basically a Packers lifer since he came into the league in 2003. He's basically just been straight, and to have been part of that organization during their most successful years. Yeah. He was the guy that pounded the table to bring in Jordan Love. Even when Aaron Rodgers was still starting at quarterback, he was like, no, we got to go get this guy and bring him in. He's the guy that really truly believes in building through the draft. And like, so there's optimism that this guy is going to help the Dolphins like actually get it right when it comes to draft picks. And he's going to be able to bring in somebody as a head coach that can like lay the foundation of whatever this next great era of Miami Dolphins football is going to be, that he's the guy that's going to help us build that. At least in theory, that's the idea. Because the last time we stripped things down, we fired Mike Tannenbaum, but then Chris Greer had already basically been the de facto GM for the team anyway. And so then he officially moved into that role. And it was just kind of more or less like, shuffling the deck chairs on the Titanic.
Yeah.
This time they've really got a clean start. So there is a lot more optimism now than there's been, for a really long time, at least from me, jaded Dolphins fan who's sat through a lot of pain in recent years.
It should be an attractive location for players to go, right? It's Miami. Period. I don't really have any more to add to the list.
Listen, there's no state income tax, so that's a big thing. That's a big thing for people. It is an attractive place to live. It's an attractive place to play football. By all accounts, the organization and the structure that they have in place in Miami in terms of like the facilities and all of that stuff and how they take care of players' families and all of that is really good. And all of that is really nice. The biggest obstacle that the Dolphins have in front of them right now is they've got to attract a head coach candidate who's going to be willing to put up with, the fact that the cap situation and the roster going into 2026 is not great. You've got some great players that you're going to need to figure out what to do with contractually, but you've got a lot of kind of resetting that you're going to need to do. And, that GM is going to have to take that on. And as Sully, as he likes to be called J.E. or Sully. He doesn't want to be called John Eric.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
How is that name spelled? Is it a hyphenated first name?
JON-ERIC.
You don't see the hyphen in the first name very often. That is it's a bold choice.
It's very strong. Props to his parents.
Yeah. I mean, you got to throw in the hyphen in the first name.
To rock the hyphen in your name is like really.
It sounds like he doesn't want to though. But I mean, I feel like you got to own it.
He does. Yeah. He's like, please don't call me John Eric.
I would make that my nickname. I would be like the hyphen. That's how people would. That's how people would know.
Maybe
me.
That's what we're going to refer to him as now.
I think that's good. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Feel free.
Sully
Feel free. It's all yours.
Is how he likes to.
Sully's good too, but then I just all I'm thinking about is the pilot of the Miracle on the Hudson or was it also Monsters Inc. There's so many other references to Sully.
If this Sully can safely land the Dolphins plane in the Hudson, I mean, that's going to be a lot better than what the last several people.
Oh, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. Well said.
Thank you.
Well said. And then switching gears a little bit, I think you're also a Miami Hurricanes fan.
I am a Miami Hurricanes fan. Almost wore the Canes hat today. It's now the Canes thing is that's more cultural South Florida. I did not attend the University of Miami. I went to the University of Central Florida. I am a proud alumni of the 2017 national champion UCF Knights.
Wow.
And
so is this like how I say Dak Prescott won the 2023 NFL MVP, or what's the story with the UCF national championship? Because they are listed as
They're national champions.
Is it that they didn't get selected for the playoff?
They didn't get selected for the playoff,
but they were undefeated. Okay,
they were undefeated and defeated Auburn.
In the
I believe it was the Peach Bowl that year.
Yeah, okay.
And defeated Auburn in the Peach Bowl. Finished the perfect season, and at that point, the people in UCF, we were all saying we're national champions. We're basically national champions. We were claiming the national championship at that point.
Yeah.
One of the selectors, the AP has all of these, 100 selectors or whatever it is who choose national champions, and they are not. It wasn't like law. It wasn't like written in a book somewhere that you have to choose whoever wins the CFP national championship.
It's like it's like the electoral college. It's like,
right. Somebody has it. Exactly. Somebody, the UCF could still be national champions if Mike Pence.
And he did.
And he did. So this one selector, it's official. It's there. It's in the record book. Says that UCF was the national champion in 2017. So therefore, UCF does have a claim to a contested national champion. A split national championship in 2017. The way that the Hurricanes shared a national championship with Washington at one point.
Oh, it used to be way more common. Well, not like common, but like it used to happen. Like I think like 2003 was it like USC and Michigan? Maybe it was a split. Or maybe it was Auburn.
It's because they didn't have a playoff. They didn't have any way of identifying. Well, how can we actually have these teams?
How can we compare them?
Compete for a national championship?
Yeah. How can we compare Oregon and Indiana? There's no way, unfortunately.
Yeah. There's nothing we can do.
I can't imagine what we would do. Yeah.
There is no solution. I mean, I know that in literally every other collegiate sport, there is a way to figure it out.
Yeah.
Not football.
Even like the other half of Division I football, they had playoffs for a while before, I remember as the Division I AA playoffs where James Madison won a national championship, it's the solution was there. And even the solution they've come up with now is still like, what are you doing? Why is it like this?
Well, we have to protect the sanctity of the bowl game.
Of course. Yes. Yeah. We must give out a trophy at the end of every single game.
It's the worst
in December and January.
Tradition.
It's ridiculous.
I was sitting watching, my brother was over, we were watching the Miami Ole Miss game, and the game was over. Miami had, won the game, a nail biter to get to the national championship. And he runs to go to the bathroom real quick before he leaves. He comes out and he's looking, and there's like the word champions is plastered across like the scoreboards in the stadium. And he's like, does that say champions? I'm like, yeah, they're the Peach Bowl champions in the college football playoff semifinal. They are still the Peach Bowl champions.
The Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl. Let's give the corporate sponsor their due.
I don't need the Chick-fil-A people coming after me.
Yeah, you sure don't.
I'm not making that mistake again.
Absolutely not. And then what was the other one? What was the bowl that Indiana won? Because it's not the Tostitos Fiesta Bowl anymore. That
was what it was. It was the Fiesta Bowl that the Hurricanes won the Fiesta Bowl over because it was their first ever win in the Fiesta Bowl. It was like a cursive Fiesta Bowl.
Oh, really?
And was it the Fiesta? Was Indiana over Oregon?
Because it's not Tostitos Fiesta Bowl anymore, because that makes too much sense. It's the Verbo Fiesta Bowl, because when I think Fiesta, I think Verbo.
That was the best moment. It's like there's nothing I want more at the beginning of a college football national semifinal than to have the general manager of Verbo come out onto the field to be introduced by name and flip a coin.
I think it was the Indiana game. They did the whole introduction, but the microphone wasn't on. So then the poor ref had to do it again. Like like he had to do, but like he had to do the exact same spiel again, so the stadium could hear the. I guess that was probably I think it was the CEO of Chick-fil-A that he had to introduce because that was the Peach Bowl. Yeah.
Well, if there's ever a guy that I would feel bad for, it's the CEO of Chick-fil-A.
That's right. That's right. They're gonna come after you. It's going to happen. It's going to happen. I guess evidently I'm being told by the screen in front of me that it hasn't been the Tostitos Fiesta Bowl for over 10 years.
They can say it's the Verbo Fiesta Bowl. It's the Tostitos Fiesta Bowl.
It's gone through several iterations. It was the Vizio Fiesta Bowl.
Really? Vizio got the sponsorship.
Vizio got it. The Battle Frog Fiesta Bowl.
I don't think if you gave me 10 guesses, I could guess what industry Battle Frog is.
How about I give you 3?
3 guesses to guess what Battle Frog is?
Yeah.
Is it just a venture capital firm?
It is. That's a pretty good guess. It was a sports competition television series.
It was a TV series.
Directed. So, was this?
It was like some 90s.
It was the Battle Frog
cartoon.
College Championship. You know what it sounds like? It sounds like the new America Games or whatever that we're going to be doing, where we're bringing in 2 people, a boy and girl from each state. It kind of sounds.
I'm not familiar with this phenomenon.
It's the president's new Hunger Games adjacent competition that's going to be happening.
Oh, that'll be fun.
That's what it sounds like, but it was with colleges. I don't know. It's listed as a Fiesta Bowl sponsor, and then they also have the PlayStation Fiesta Bowl.
Oh,
I didn't realize
that
this.
Checks out.
There were sponsors before Tostitos, which feels wrong. It was the IBM Fiesta Bowl and the Sunkist Fiesta Bowl, which is very 90s.
Sunkist is especially 90s.
Yeah. Why is Sunkist not doing the Orange Bowl?
I don't. Well, because it's the FedEx Orange Bowl. You can't.
FedEx.
They couldn't. Sunkist is not going to outbid FedEx for the naming rights of the Orange Bowl.
That's true. That's true.
I mean,
Oh, it hasn't been the FedEx.
Alignment would have
it hasn't been the FedEx Orange Bowl for 16 years, John.
Yeah, listen, it's
Josh.
As far as I'm concerned, listen, you can call me John. You can call me Josh. It's going to be the FedEx Orange Bowl.
I got so mad that I got the name that I called you John. You're John when I'm mad.
If I had $1 for every time that
John,
happened, I'd have another house.
Oh man, Josh, not John. Yeah, good luck to the Hurricanes. This is probably coming out the day. I'm going to guess this is coming out the day that the national championship happens.
That's awesome. That's my happy birthday to my son. He's going to be turning 9 years old that day.
9. Wow.
Today, excuse me. He's turning 9 years old today on release day.
Oh yeah. We can't break the illusion.
Working the time shift here.
Yeah. I'm sitting. I can't. My brain won't stop debating whether or not I'm going to edit out the part where I called you by the wrong name. So that's going to be.
I look forward to finding that out.
Yeah, you'll find out on your son's birthday. Has he expressed a fandom?
Yeah, it's really it's a bit heartbreaking.
Oh God,
for me. He told me probably the 3rd or 4th week of the season. He turns to me and he goes, "Dad." I said, "Yes." He goes, "I want you to know that I love you very much. I'm a Bills fan."
Oh.
And so that was rough.
So where does he live now?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. He, I was like, I understand, there comes a time in every man's life where he's got to make a very powerful decision. And I am making the decision that you don't live here anymore. No, that's not true. He's still here. He cheers for the Bills. He has a Josh Allen poster. He's not like I need to sit on the couch and watch every single game.
Yeah.
He was watching the playoff game, and at one point I'm getting excited. He goes, "Dad, why are you cheering for the Jaguars?" And I'm like, "Son, I grew up hating the Bills, and I appreciate that you like them, but I am never going to cheer for them. I'm always going to cheer against them. And so let that be a lesson to you.
That's what my upbringing was like as a Cowboys fan surrounded by Washington fans, is just they would hate watch any time. Like I remember my dad's reaction to Tony Romo dropping the hold on that field goal in that playoff game against Seattle. And like he was trying not to, it was like probably the only time I've seen him like really try to act in front of me a different way than he was feeling. Like I could tell he was even he in that moment was trying to like cover up his glee that the Cowboys were losing that playoff game, and he couldn't do it. Couldn't do it.
But you got plenty over on them, like with all those.
Oh my God. Yeah. There was like a run.
It was a beautiful period of time there for a little while.
Yeah, I used to joke that the only time my grandfather would call me was whenever Washington beat Dallas. And like there was, I mean, most of my early adulthood, I didn't hear from my grandfather like at all. So yeah, I mean, I was kind of worried. Like,
sure. I mean, yeah, and as you should be.
Yeah.
But the epilogue to my son's fandom story is that while he doesn't, like, he's a Bills fan. He's cheering for the Bills, right? Whatever. If the Dolphins ever get good, I'm sure he will come on board. He will climb on board with me.
Which is totally fine.
The other thing is that my wife's family, all Seahawks fans, Seahawks season ticket holders for years and years and years.
Okay.
So in a footballing sense, I absolutely married up. So I got to live through the glory years of the Legion of Boom,
at least
like,
now. I mean,
my wife. And now they're
they were
favorites probably out of the
they were when their AFC days though were not good. Those were the days where they had this beautiful helmet behind me.
Yes.
Just rough for the
they were not good in those days, but they're better now.
Yeah. Had a pretty good run.
So so we get to cheer for the Seahawks still. So that's kind of fun. I kind of live vicariously through them, and I'm very supportive of the Seahawks because I don't have anything against the Seahawks.
Yeah.
But the big thing is that where his biggest fandom lies is the Chicago Cubs. He got super into baseball this year.
Oh, that's awesome.
He has become a huge Cubs fan, which I am like super excited about. We took him, we spend every other Thanksgiving with our friends who live just north of Chicago. So I got to take him to Wrigley Field this year for the first time for a tour. And that was emotional and incredible. The tour guide started working for the team in 2016 and was given a World Series ring when they won the World Series that year. So my son got to wear it. Which was incredible. It was this beautiful thing. And so we're leaning heavily into Chicago Cubs fandom. There are a lot of Chicago Cubs gifts. There were a lot of Chicago Cubs gifts for Christmas. There's a lot more coming for his birthday. We're leaning heavily into that and trying to not focus too heavily on the Buffalo Bills.
It's a good team, like merch wise. It's like cute little bears everywhere, the classic look. Also, that tour guide, man, like a team doesn't win a World Series for 108 years, and this guy walks in, starts giving tours, and they immediately win one.
It's him, man. That's it.
That's really something.
He was primarily the reason they won the World Series. I know a lot of people like to give credit to John Lester and Miguel Montero. And
I was going to say the tour guide's name was John Lester.
Yeah, that's right. It's kind of crazy that 2016 Cubs team was really lightning in a bottle, because you look at that core of that team, Javi Baez and Chris Bryant and Anthony Rizzo and Addison Russell, and you look at that team and like none of those guys ever were as good as they were in 2016 again.
Yeah. Was Schwarber still there?
Schwarber was there.
He missed like the whole season, right?
He blew his ACL on the first series
opening
of the year,
day,
crashing into the outfield wall in Arizona, and famously came back for the World Series as a designated hitter.
Yeah. Man, I'm not like a Cubs fan. I wasn't a Cleveland fan. But I remember very vividly watching Game 7 and like literally getting anxious to the point of almost having a panic attack. Like I literally had to, when it went to a rain delay, I had to go out in my parking garage of my apartment building at the time and like just walk around because it was just like the history of it. Like even, I mean, Cleveland hasn't won a World Series since 1948. And so like they have the longest drought now that the Cubs finally broke theirs. So like there was a lot on line for them too in terms of historical, and the fact it went to extra innings, right? And
it went to extra. Because the Cubs had the game like basically wrapped up, and then gave up that big 2-run homer in the 9th inning to force it into extras, and then was the rain delay,
right?
Which was just absolutely brutal. And then the Cubs came out in the top of the 10th and just were like, no, we're winning the World Series.
Yeah.
But then it wasn't even easy winning the game, like, because then even in the bottom of the 10th, like Cleveland threatened again.
Right.
And so it was nerve-wracking. Baseball postseason, when you have a team that you were cheering for, is a certain kind of torture that cannot be explained and is unrivaled by any other sport. Like, I mean,
I think it's
like
it's the lack of clock to me. It's the fact that there's not like an end point. Like you have to do the entire thing. There's no like kneeling the ball. There's no just like taking the air out of the ball. There's no stalling. It's just you have to get all of the outs, and the team and it every pitch, every moment is just like completely like the most stressful thing you can imagine.
It's horrible.
It's torture. Even when you have no dog in the fight. This past World Series, the Dodgers and the Blue Jays, the Game 7 is the same way. It was the same way, and like you could like see it on the faces of the players. Like it was almost like Blake Snell didn't want to throw the next pitch because it was just like this could be the end of our season. It's just
that was so brutal.
And there really isn't anything like it. Like hockey,
but when you come out on top at the end,
yeah. I mean, hockey comes close because you have like that sudden death, that overtime situation you can get into, like an elimination game, and that's like a more prolonged. Like I feel like baseball is like it like has like a bunch of lead ups of stressful moments, and then you get a little bit of like relax, and then it comes right back. Hockey, it's like it could happen anytime, or it could happen never. Like,
it's so crazy, and so I have my sort of fandom story is really bizarre, right? Because I grew up in South Florida, but I'm a fan of the Cubs because when I was growing up in South Florida, there wasn't a baseball team. And they used to have these things back in the day called superstations, which viewers of a certain age, listeners of a certain age will remember superstations. And there was like WOR had the Mets games nationwide. TBS would broadcast Braves games nationwide. And WGN would broadcast the Cubs and the White Sox nationwide. And so I'm a kid growing up in South Florida where the only pro sports team for the Heat came in like 88. And so the first 9 years of my life, the Dolphins are the only team that we have in South Florida. And so I would come home from school and I would watch Cubs games on TV with Harry Carey and Steve Stone. And I just fell in love with Harry Carey specifically.
Right.
Because he was just such a colorful character.
Wow.
Watching him. Hi.
Andres Galarraga.
And like you watching some of those. I just would love to, like who's the, not Shohei Ohtani, but like the other pitcher that the Dodgers have.
Yamamoto?
Yamamoto. I would love to hear Harry Carey try to take how about Yamamoto? Yoshinobu Yamamoto. Like he's like 6 Budweisers in the third inning. But like I just had so much fun watching him growing up, and like between those Cubs teams with Andre Dawson and Ryan Sandberg and Mark Grace and Sean Dunston, like and Rick Sutcliffe, like I fell in love with those Chicago Cubs in the 80s, and so like that became my team. And then like later in South Florida, the Marlins came to town in '93, and my dad had like sort of like did a 4-way split of season tickets with like some other guys in his office, so we would go to like 20 Marlins games a year, but he would always like manage to get all the Cubs tickets when the Cubs came to town, so we'd always get to go see the Cubs. And so I always cheered for the Cubs. Like I would go and I would cheer for the Marlins when the Marlins were playing, but when they were playing anybody else. But when the Cubs came to town, nope, I was fully Cubs. And then including 2003 when the Cubs famously lost in the National League to the NLCS to the Marlins. Yeah. I went to all of the Miami games in that series. I was going to school in Orlando and went to those games because I was like, no, I'm attending. And I was, riding high until it all, went off the rails later on. But so I grew up as like fan of the Miami Dolphins, fan of the Miami Heat, fan of the Chicago Cubs. There wasn't a hockey team, so I cheered for the Chicago Blackhawks, and those just became my teams. And like, so 2012, that postseason was the Heat in the NBA Finals against the Spurs and the Blackhawks in the Stanley Cup Final against the Boston Bruins. And so at that, when the NBA Finals and the Stanley Cup Final are going on at the same time, it's every night you've got one. And of course that was the year of the Ray Allen shot, and it was the year that the Blackhawks scored 2 goals in 17 seconds to beat the Bruins for the Stanley Cup. And it's
like an eclipse.
That roller coaster ride every single night for that entire month of June was just, exquisite torture. But both of my teams came out on top, so it worked out all right.
Yeah, man, what a year. There was a moment there when you started going into 2003 that I thought there was like a non-zero chance you were about to reveal yourself as Steve Bartman. And like,
I can neither confirm or deny.
Okay, all right, yeah, still the like witness protection. Please don't like Steve Bartman. Yeah. Oh man, well that's fun. 2012. It also, what a slap in the face that the Marlins come into the league and then immediately won a World Series in '97. And the Cubs are sitting there like, can I get one of those?
Who's been slapped in the face is the Miami Dolphins, who since they last won a playoff game, every other professional sports team in South Florida has won not one, but multiple championships.
Is that right?
Since the Dolphins last won a playoff game. The Marlins, the Heat have won 3. The Marlins have won.
I guess they've won 1 because they won 97 and 03.
Yeah, they've won. They've won 1, right? So they've won 1. But like the Panthers have won back-to-back. Inter Miami now has they've kind of done it.
And now the Hurricanes, if they can just beat Fernando Mendoza.
Well, the Hurricanes did win the national championship right after that.
Right. I'm forgetting how long it's been. And then one of my earliest like college football games I remember was the Hurricanes losing to like Craig Krenzel and Maurice Clarett and that like Ohio State team.
Yeah, that was robbery. And
that pass interference call was
absolute garbage.
Really, really brutal. And then the defensive back like threw his helmet after the call, or I think because he thought that the game was over and they'd won.
Yeah.
He tossed his helmet. The helmet like exploded, and then he couldn't be in there on like the next play.
Couldn't be in the next play. And I broke a ceiling fan at my parents' house that night, jumping into the air in celebration when they broke that pass up.
Oh man!
Because we had won the national championship game, and they threw a flag.
That's so weird. I also have a hitting my hand on a ceiling fan and exuberance experience. In 2004, watching the ALCS with the Red Sox, I think it was David Ortiz walk-off home run. I like jumped up and hit a ceiling fan. Didn't break it though. I'm not that strong.
Was there a pass interference penalty?
I'll have to get back to you on that. It's possible. Okay. It's possible. Yeah.
They're still reviewing the tape.
There was a base runner interference penalty famously in Game 6 of that series. So pretty close.
That was
pretty
a wild
close.
time.
The A-Rod slap. Yeah, so I had what I hope is a fun thing for us to do to finish up here.
Let's do it.
I am very much into mascots that teams have.
Oh, nice.
And so I'm also very much into brackets. And so I went a little crazy here, and I've made a bracket. I've picked 4 mascots from each of the 4 major sporting leagues. And I'm going to have you match them up and select. So where do you want to start? Which
so am I the sole arbiter of
you
this?
Are the sole
am I
arbiter? I might say some opinions I have, but this is your call. This is your bracket. You are picking your favorite mascot of these 16.
All right. Well, we are in the NFL playoffs, so let's start with the NFL.
Let's do it. All right. Let's zoom in here. We have Sourdough Sam of the San Francisco 49ers.
All right.
If I weren't a hack and a fraud, I would have looked up the backstory of all these characters and told you why Sourdough Sam is called that. But that's not this show. That's not what we're gonna do.
That's fine.
And he's going up against Brownie the elf, the scary little elf for the Browns. So who do you like more?
Brownie the elf has a little bit of baby dinosaur on him, like a little not the mama action there.
Yeah.
It's giving not the mama.
And then Sourdough Sam. I don't know if you're familiar with are you familiar with the old 49ers logo?
I would like to say yes, but I
will show you.
Lying,
I believe
probably.
This is Sourdough Sam in a different illustration form, but it's one of my favorite old logos.
Oh yes, I've seen that before.
I believe that's Sourdough Sam.
That's good. We need more mascots with guns,
Yeah. That's the thing we're missing. So the elf or the possibly inebriated Sourdough Sam. Which way are you going? Between those two,
I'm going Sourdough Sam, mainly just because I'm an alliteration guy.
Okay, all right.
So I'm going to give Sourdough Sam the dub.
He is going on to the next round. Congratulations, Sourdough Sam. And the Browns take another L, as is their tradition.
If the Dolphins hire Kevin Stefanski, do I reserve the right to change my pick?
We will allow you to make an edit. If they do that.
No.
All right. Okay, so getting a little closer to home here, we got TD, the Dolphin,
devastating,
versus one of the best names, but also one of the worst names I've ever seen for a mascot, Jackson DeVille.
Yeah, that's terrible.
Of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
It's like Jackson DeVille is very clearly like a prototype Chuck E. Cheese character that did not make the cut, and they were like, Jackson DeVille, you're out.
Yeah,
Jackson,
it's off-brand. Chucky.
I've got to go with TD here. I mean, TD is so memeable. Also,
going with the Homer pick, I like it.
So I'm gonna go Homer pick here.
Jackson DeVille. I'm sorry,
Jackson DeVille.
For those reasons, we are out on you. But you know what?
Take yourself to Showtime Pizza. Or
I will say
the other.
Yeah, it's really the only time I've seen this spelling of Jackson, aside from Jackson Dart. So,
how interesting.
Maybe they can be.
Do we know? Do we have any evidence that Jackson Dart was not named after Jackson DeVille?
We don't, and I'm not gonna look into it anymore. And I'm just gonna assume that's true. The Jackson Dart is named after Jackson DeVille.
It is now written in the lore.
It kind of has the same style choices too going on there. Yep, that is just true. All right, let's move on down here to hockey. And
here we go.
Yeah, we got the New Jersey Devil, which is very literal. And then we got Gritty, which can't be literal because it's just like a amalgam of body parts and fur is how I would describe Gritty. How do you feel? How do you feel about?
I mean, this isn't close. It's Gritty. It's a landslide.
Yeah, Gritty Gritty's like a 1 seed, like a strong 1 seed going into this tournament.
This is a 62-7 victory, and the New Jersey Devil is going to have to retire after this.
Oh man, sorry, New Jersey Devil. I do like how much into the NHL is starting to lean into like cryptids. Because you got like the New Jersey Devil, and then you had like the Seattle Kraken, and they had a great opportunity with the Utah Yeti, and they just gave it up for a mammoth, a thing that actually exists. How boring, or existed, I guess.
Where is the creativity in the NHL?
Yeah, it's really tough. But speaking of creativity, we got
here we go.
Cat from the Ottawa Senators. I guess it's a lion. But no, it's Spartacat. It's Spartacat. That's what species it is. And then Yuppie, who the exclamation point is part of his name. It's kind of like the hyphen that we were talking about earlier.
Yep, it's powerful. Powerful.
And Yuppie, do you know Yuppie's story?
I don't know Yuppie's story, but I am familiar with Yuppie.
He was the Montreal Expos mascot until they were torn out of Montreal and brought down to my neck of the woods here in Washington, D.C. I'm just outside Washington, D.C. And Yuppie didn't come with them. He did not come down to Washington to be a part of the Nationals. He stayed and joined. He was adopted by the Montreal Canadiens.
Had visa issues, I am assuming.
Yeah. We it was the Bush era, so not that there's really been a good time for people coming in. And that's what we're going to spend the next 30 minutes talking about: immigration issues in the United States.
We really need to get to the bottom of this.
Yeah, that is what I brought you here to talk about.
Great.
Sorry it took so long.
I am a bit of an expert at that. I am a bit of an expert at immigration. In the immortal words of Peppa Pig's dad.
Oh man, wow. It's a great reference.
It's a deep cut.
And it is a deep cut, yeah. So Yuppie first, Spartacat. Who are you taking?
It's Yuppie for me. I mean, like, you got punctuation in your name, you win.
That's yeah. More people need to have.
Don't overthink it.
Yeah. I might add an exclamation point to my name. Thinking about it
It's very, very powerful. It's a very powerful move to have.
Let's go ahead. Yeah. Let's go ahead and finish out the NFL side of the bracket here. Get our final four. We got Sourdough Sam versus TD.
Oh, this is a tough one, but I have no choice but to exact some revenge for Super Bowl 19.
Wow.
And TD is advancing here.
Wow. This is reminding me. So the other, last week, my good friend and co-host Devesh, we went through and we picked who we thought were going to win all the games of the NFL playoffs. And he just kept picking the Bills because he is a massive Bills fan.
He is a big Bills fan. I listen to every episode.
Oh,
I'm a big fan.
Wonderful to hear.
Big fan. I'm steeped in the lore of the show.
Incredible. So you were familiar with how his brain turns to soup when the Bills are in the playoffs, and I think this is peak, diseased fandom time of year, and I can't, I can't help it.
Listen, you get caught up in the moment, and you just let it rip.
Yeah. All right, Gritty versus Yuppie. I'm sad we're gonna have to say goodbye to one of these guys because
this is really hard. This is really hard.
Just so much
without
orange.
even knowing who's over there on the Major League Baseball side of the thing. It's like I'm very sad that these guys couldn't be paired up that way. But
tough draw. It's a tough draw.
I think there is one character in all of sports who has the power to overturn the power of punctuation, and it's Gritty.
Yeah, I think that's the right choice. What I love about this picture of Gritty specifically, and this may be the case. This may just be the first time I've noticed it, but his helmet, I didn't know he had just little pictures of himself on it, and he should have that because he's beautiful, and
he is.
We need more mascots that are just weird, like Hellspawn. That is kind of a great genre of mascot that
he's like if Sesame Street was going to do a Stranger Things spinoff, like that's Gritty kind of, but like have it be like very friendly and safe.
Yeah,
and like a tiny little bit woke.
All right, so now we're going to go to the NBA. We have Bongo the Buck. Bango the Buck.
Bango.
Bango the Buck. And
Bango
then,
does not have an exclamation point at the end.
He should have one, but he does not.
Really should.
Bango the Buck. And then he's matched up with Chucky the Condor, who I learned about earlier this afternoon putting this together. Never had heard of Chucky the Condor. But he's here, and he is ready to play. So
listen, I understand that the Clippers play in LA. He's the Clippers logo, right? That's the gimmick. He's a California condor because they're the Clippers.
Yes, which I believe
that's
are
a non
extinct.
sequitur.
Is that right? Is that?
I thought a Clipper's a boat.
A Clipper is a boat. Both LA basketball teams are named after boats, which is odd.
It's very strange.
Yeah. Yeah,
I have to go Bango here. Right?
You're on Bango. All right. I like Bango a lot. He's very odd looking. Just like a sad, kind of like almost like an Eeyore face.
Yeah.
Kind of like an Eeyore disposition, which is odd for a mascot. But
especially for a mascot named Bango.
Yeah, right? It's very, yeah. But it's,
if you catch my drift, he should be called Bongo. Look at him.
Yeah. Yeah, he looks like he has been ripping it. All right.
I do want it to, and it also, I think it's on brand for the Clippers to not have postseason success. So
absolutely. Absolutely. All right. G-Wiz, our beloved Washington Wizards mascot, and Stuff the Magic Dragon, the dragon mascot for the Orlando Magic, named Stuff.
Okay. Well, we're going to go because I am a South Floridian. I am a Miami Heat fan, and I cannot in good conscience give a vote to the Orlando Magic. So we're going G-Wiz here.
Yes. Oh, right. I didn't know which way you were going with that. You pulled the rug on me there. And I'm so glad G-Wiz gets to live another day.
Yeah. I like it.
The best
I am digging this bracket though, and also the
good.
Like as somebody who does dabble in a little bit of graphic design, I like having the PNG just peek out of the white box a little bit. It's very this is really well done. This is very artful.
The details. Thank you for appreciating that.
Yeah, you got it.
All right, Philly knows what they're doing with some of these mascots because now we have the Philly Phanatic,
very powerful,
and Lucille, the seal mascot for the San Francisco Giant.
That is in fact gendered male, a male gendered character named Lou Seal.
Lou Seal, yes, that is correct. Lou Seal. Yeah. The Phanatic. I have a story about the Philly Phanatic. We took the family to Philadelphia last year and went to, actually it was these two teams. It was the Phillies and Giants game in Philly. And we bought my 3-year-old son a Philly Phanatic like stuffed animal, and he hates that thing. He hates it. Like he loves every stuffed animal. That thing, like I will sometimes like put it in his bed with the other ones, and he will grab it and throw it across the room. He can't stand it. He's very nice about it because I think he knows that like I like got it for him, and like he is like nice about it, but he doesn't want it anywhere near him while he's sleeping. And I honestly can't.
That's tremendous.
I can't blame him. So with all that in mind,
I love it.
The Philly Phanatic and Lou Seal.
I mean, but that speaks to the power of the Phanatic. I'm going Phanatic here. So,
all right.
With all due respect to your 3-year-old,
he deserves it. It's fine. There was a decent chance he was going to come storming.
I've heard he's a Commanders fan.
So funny story actually.
Oh no.
I today I picked him up at daycare, and one of his teachers is like a diehard Cowboys fan. And he's like, the teacher's like me, like he grew up here in like the DC area and as a Cowboys fan because we're just like degenerates that way, I guess. But I walk in, and the very first thing this teacher says to me, like I thought my kid may have, the urgency that he was saying this to me, I thought it was possible my kid had like just gotten hurt just now or just like had an accident or something.
Oh no.
But what he said was, Elliot told me he's an Eagles fan.
Oh no.
Yeah, which is like the first I've heard of that. And
Yeah.
and I just immediately was like, that's not happening. It's like there are probably 30 teams in the NFL I'd be fine with
Not
him being
my
a fan
son.
of. Yeah,
Yeah.
not my son. No son of mine. Although it would be convenient because the kicker for the Eagles is named Jake Elliott, and that's my son's name, so we could get him the jersey.
Okay. So
But
maybe
there-
there's logic here somewhere.
We'll just get an Ezekiel Elliott jersey, honestly, if we
That's
need to
all.
go that route. All right, 2 more here. For baseball, we got
Here
Southpaw
we go.
for the Chicago White Sox.
Yep.
No idea what kind of creature this is. It's kind of in that same genre of creature, I would say, as the Phanatic or a Gritty. And then Wally the Green Monster,
Yeah.
who named after the wall in left field. Weird
Checks
that
out.
there is an anthropomorphic version of the wall, I guess, where he like is birthed from the wall. I don't know. There's got to be some kind of mythology there, I would imagine.
Yeah. Dude, shouldn't he be wearing like a WB Mason like jersey or something like that if he comes from that wall?
Yeah. Yeah, or have a scoreboard on him. Maybe it's
Just, yeah,
completely
something like
unrelated. Maybe it's just coincidence.
Yeah.
He has no connection at all to the the actual wall.
He's
Who
getting a
knows?
dub here because we can't give
Not giving it to the
a
White
victory
Sox?
to the White Sox. That's just not acceptable.
All right.
Not in this
All right.
house anyway.
I get it. Yeah, the north side and the south side not going to give each
I
other
need to
wins.
talk to somebody in the Red Sox organization about the mascot here. We need to have a conversation. I've got some notes.
But for Wally the Green Monster.
Yeah, for Wally,
Yeah.
we need to be able to slot in some
Yeah.
American League scores somewhere on that.
Yeah,
on that
yeah.
wardrobe.
Like his like one leg can be American League, one leg can be National League.
Yeah,
But the standing is on his back. Yeah, he's
Right?
got to be conveying information, or
Yes.
having just line drives bounce off of him constantly. He
which
needs
that
to
would be a good gimmick.
He needs to be turning routine fly balls into doubles. Like if he's going to be the Green Monster.
Yeah.
All right. Speaking of which, for a quick aside, congrats on signing Alex Bregman to your Cubs.
Thank you. Thank you. Yes, I was not expecting that at all.
Neither was I.
I thought Bregman was like I just never thought it was possible. I really had was after they made the Cabrera trade, I was like, oh, they're gonna bring in one of these big bats. But I really had like my eye on Bo Bichette. I thought that was where they were gonna go, but they decided, nope, Alex Bregman. And so now,
And maybe maybe they'll still go after another one. Like famously, there's no
it's
cap,
possible.
so they could.
It's true. No cap. There's no cap.
6-7 things of that nature. All right,
Yes.
G-Wiz versus Bongo.
This is a tough one here.
Yeah.
Because I'll tell you what. Here's where I'm going to draw my solution from here. Very dear friend of mine is a diehard Phoenix Suns fan, and he got to attend a game in Milwaukee during the NBA Finals when the Suns squared off with Bongo's team, and because of how they did my boy, I'm going to give a victory to G-Wiz here.
Oh my gosh. You did it again. I feel like a Chicago Bears fan right now with the way I'm losing for 3/4 of the game and then my boy pulls it out in the end. Wow. Gee
So I
whiz.
got those storytelling chops, man.
Congrats. Yeah. Yeah, I was resigning myself to G-Wiz not coming out of that.
G-Wiz
quadrant, but
probably was a significant underdog to come out of that bracket.
yeah,
but
I mean,
there he is.
Although the NBA, let's be honest, this was the weakest bunch,
Sure.
which is a shame. Do better.
To be fair, I think the Phoenix Suns gorilla really
Gorilla's
must have
cool.
screwed something up in qualifying to not make the bracket here.
Yeah, injuries it was kind of like the Bengals this year. It just couldn't put it together, couldn't put a full game together.
That's it. Once
the
that
Chiefs,
injury bug bites, like there's no coming out of it.
All right, the Phanatic versus the Green Monster. Take it away.
Yeah, it's the Phanatic. It's like, I mean, what are we doing?
What are we doing? It's that. All right. So
You know,
the final
we got
four.
semifinalists, or that's I guess that's the East bracket over there.
Right. Yeah.
Oh, we're into the final four. Here
We're
we
into
are.
the final four. Yeah, we have TD, the Dolphin, Gritty, the Gritty, G-Wiz, and the Philly Phanatic. Which one do you want to take on first here?
Oh man, this is so well. Listen. With all due respect to G-Wiz, he's put up a good fight, and has really done. I think the G-Wiz fan base, is largely playing with house money at this point.
yeah.
By the time I don't suspect that they expected G-Wiz to make it as far as he did, and is significant underdog against the Philly Phanatic here. It's one of those situations where G-Wiz is going to have to play his absolute best game and hope that the Phanatic doesn't play his.
Right.
And that's just not in the cards. So the Phanatic is advancing to the championship round here.
Congratulations to the Philly Phanatic. It reminds me a bit of the 2016 NCAA tournament when Syracuse was a 10 seed.
Yes.
And they went on a crazy run, made it to the Final Four, and then ran into North Carolina and just wasn't even a game.
It's just never,
Kind of
it's
reminds
never gonna
me of that very specific thing. And I accidentally took, and also I want to point out, if college mascots were included in this, very few of these professional ones would be making it really anywhere. Because college, like Otto the Orange is just a powerhouse. You're gonna have a tough time dealing with Otto. So maybe in the future.
They say the ACC isn't a power conference anymore, but Otto has different ideas.
Yeah, they're wrong. They're wrong.
Who needs NIL when you have Otto the Orange?
Now that's a good question. Are mascots getting a piece of that pie? Are they getting any of that NIL?
That's a good question. I think the mascots themselves are, but the quote unquote friends of the mascot inside might not be.
So it's all going to the license holders of the mascot. That's the next fight that we needed to take on.
We're chipping away slowly.
Yeah,
we're chipping away slowly.
We gotta get some. Gotta unionize the mascots. Anyway, TD, the Dolphin, versus Gritty. Gritty.
So
the blue blood of this group. He may actually have blue blood. It's very possible.
He may very well. He may very well.
Everything about him is orange, but
so as we look at this, anybody who listens to our show will tell you that while we are big Dolphin fans, we are certainly not homers. We're not going to view the world through aqua and orange lenses and tell you everything is sunshine and rainbows when everything is, not sunshine and rainbows. And as I look at this, we got to be honest, like TD is in a very tough battle here with Gritty, because Gritty is a powerhouse. He's really, in a lot of ways, a modern phenomenon. And I don't know that anybody in the Miami Dolphins organization, TD included, has figured out a game plan that is solid enough and bulletproof enough to take on the overwhelming power of Gritty.
Yeah.
And so I, as much as I would love to see TD in the finals here, Gritty is getting the dub, and we're getting a Philly on Philly matchup.
That was very big of you.
Round here.
Very big of you to speak the truth there. Yeah, how do you beat an opponent that is looking in every direction at once somehow?
At the same time.
At the same time. You don't. And that doesn't even, these may even be usable eyes on his helmet. We don't know. We don't know really anything about the biology of Gritty.
We don't know. We know that he somehow passed the drug test.
Do we?
But he's there.
I think he is.
We
more
need to be
drugs
honest.
than-
And
He's more
listen,
drugs
it
than
was the
man
Russian
at this point.
Federation was administering the drug tests. So
Yeah. That's impossible to know. It's impossible to know. He may have gotten urine from the Philly Phanatic, who he is now facing off in the championship. Yeah, Philly. What's going on? You guys okay? This is what they have going on. Are you familiar? Do you know what the Eagles mascot looks like?
isn't it like it's a bald eagle, right? Isn't that?
Yeah. His name's Swoop.
Swoop is a terrible name for an eagle.
His name's Swoop, and he looks like just a regular old eagle, and it's just another failure of the Philadelphia Eagles organization.
See, this is nonsense. This is terrible.
What are you doing? Like, it just looks like an eagle. Like, make it look like an eagle that, I don't know, went through like a radiation poisoning.
They should have licensed Sam the Eagle from the Muppets.
Something.
Like, that would have been better.
And then the other Philly team, the 76ers, their mascot is honestly worse. It is its name is Franklin the dog.
Franklin the dog is the 76ers.
It's just a stuffed animal, which if I gave my son this stuffed animal, he'd love it. And he hates the Philly Phanatic stuffed animal. So maybe we can see their motivations there. They just want to sell stuffed animals to kids. But
it's like a Blue's Clues something. I'm not.
No, they used to.
I'm not feeling it. It's very clear that Philadelphia used all of its creativity and power to create the Phanatic and Gritty.
They did have one more years ago in Philadelphia, and his name was Hip Hop. And he would like come in halftime.
This
and
is
do
like
dunks.
Iverson era Sixers.
Yeah. So that was cool.
That's good.
That is good, right? It's kind of like a freakish half man, half rabbit. I'm into it. Maybe bring that back. It's way better than Franklin the dog. Anyway,
we're at peak 90s nostalgia right now, so why not?
Yeah, bring it back. Oh wait, I googled hip hop. I somehow missed this story. They brought hip hop back this year, the 2025-2026 season. I didn't bring this up till now, but I'm still going to take credit. All right. We should get to our final matchup here.
We got to pick a winner here.
We got to pick a winner.
This is a classic
Gritty.
You've got a prestige franchise like the Philly Phanatic, like been around for years, invented the game. And then you've got an opponent who learned honest, was brought up by the Phanatic, trained by the Phanatic, reared by the Phanatic, but has instead taken the game to another level. The winner of this Mascot Madness bracket is our woke king, Gritty.
Gritty. Oh, congratulations, Gritty. To accept your trophy today is this photo of you. Please do not come to my house. I do not want to see you, this creature, near my house. I want to see you where you belong, which is at a Flyers game, I guess. Or in Philadelphia, at his house, yeah. But congratulations, Gritty. I'm glad it ended. I think this was correct. I think you got it down to the right two. And here's a nice picture of them together. They're friends.
This is the action shot. This is the game.
At the end of the day, they are friends. They're like family. They're like brothers. Brotherly love and all of that. So I'm glad it came down to them.
One, though.
They represent that weird city perfectly, unlike Swoop, unlike Franklin the dog. So congratulations to both of them, but most of all, congratulations to Gritty for winning the inaugural Mascot Madness bracket. I hope that was fun. It was fun for me.
It was fun for me.
That's great.
Time.
You did great. You told some greats. You did better than I could have ever imagined with that. So thank you. Is there anything you want to plug here at the end, or?
I mean, I suppose I can plug the podcast, Same Old Dolphin Show. We're on the dolphinstalk.com YouTube channel, so you can subscribe to us there. You can subscribe directly to the podcast in all of your podcast providers, the Same Old Dolphin Show. You can join our Patreon, Dolphins Talk Extra, which is patreon.com/dolphinstalk. As little as $3 a month. So come hang out. You get extra shows. We have a Discord. You can come hang out, talk Dolphins and all the other nonsense that we talk about over there.
You can do your live stream and listen to you curse while you watch the Dolphins play.
That's it, man. I'm thinking about doing a watch along for the national championship game on Monday night with me and my brother, but we'll see, because I may have also promised my son that he can stay up and watch the game with us, and he's not going to be on the stream. But
yeah,
we're gonna have fun all off season long. No, he's not ready yet. He would love to tell you that he is, but no,
It's funny. My 8-year-old daughter has been asking basically every day, when do I get to be on your podcast? And soon. Maybe I'll do it. Maybe we'll get all the 8 and 9-year-olds on here, and they can talk sports. That would be fun.
We should do a like a prediction show at the beginning of the next NFL season. Bring the kids on and just have them pick who's going to win this division, who are the wild cards. Let's set up a bracket, and then let's just see who
I'm
they
literally
pick.
writing this down. Kids pick NFL. Cool. Yeah, I'm writing that down, and I may cut that so that no one else steals that idea, because that's fantastic.
There you go. Top secret information.
Well, Josh, not John, thanks for coming on, chatting with me about your life as a Dolphins fan. Good luck with your interviews for head coach of the Dolphins. I know those are probably coming up. Wish you well. Thanks so much. I hope you had fun.
Thanks for having me. This was a blast. I had a great time.
And that is it for today's show. Thank you so much, Josh, for coming on. I apologize again for calling you John, although I think you kind of look like a John. And if you agree with me, please leave a comment. Leave a comment. Does he look like a Josh, or does he look like a John? I think we could. I think we need to look into it. That's all I'm saying. I think we need to look into it. If you enjoyed that episode, you should subscribe to the show wherever you're listening to it right now. You should subscribe on YouTube, do all of that stuff. It helps other people find the show, and it helps my self-confidence, which honestly is kind of more important, if I'm being honest. And you don't want to miss any of the upcoming episodes. My friend Devesh and I have been pretty much doing a weekly show where we look back at the previous week of the NFL season and then look ahead to the next one, and things are spicing up. He's a massive Bills fan, and I'm recording this before the Bills game on Saturday, so they may have lost to the Broncos or they may have won. And either way, you're not going to want to miss Devesh's reaction to that. So be sure to subscribe so you get that episode right into your phone, right into your eyeballs. Go check out Josh's work on the Same Old Dolphin Show. It's great stuff, I promise. He's very entertaining, as you saw in this episode. And I really enjoy doing the mascot thing, and I kind of think there might be more there. So leave a comment with mascots that you like that weren't included. Leave a comment with what you think about Gritty winning. And also, if you would be interested in kind of a bigger thing where we kind of get more listener votes in on the mascot matchups, I was thinking we could do like a bigger tournament with a whole like selection show and everything. I kind of got carried away, and it kind of exceeded what I was able to do for this episode. But if any of that sounds interesting to you, let me know. Anyway, thank you so much for listening. It genuinely means so much that anybody listens to this show. It means a lot to me. I hope it's able to bring some joy to you in what can be, a difficult time of year, and frankly, a difficult time in history. So I hope that this show is able to at least provide that and help us kind of get through both the month of January and the everything, one day at a time. And let's get into our comfort zones, people. 2026, it's the year of the comfort zone. That's what I've declared it. That's what it is for me. I hope you can find that wherever you are. And I will see you next time.